I'm Brian Fowler, president of Blind Creek Resources Limited, listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, ticker symbol BCK. Blind Creek is focused in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and British Columbia. The company's key property is the Blend Project, one of the largest undeveloped lead-zinc-silver deposits in Western Canada, plus plans to advance the recently acquired, fully permitted historic engineer gold mine in the Atlan District of Northwestern BC. Check us out at blindcreekresources.com.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. Welcome back to the show, Sharon.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Sharon, is there any hope that any federal government body is going to listen to the concerns of people about cell phone radiation, smart meter radiation, the radiation coming from all kinds of wireless devices?
A standing committee for the Canadian Environmental Protection Agency is reviewing the current standards, and they've come up with a long list of recommendations that are being prepared and presented to Parliament. The recommendations are cover the whole gamut and are asking for more transparency. They're asking for better stewardship of the environment. They're asking that the public be made aware of toxins in the air, toxins in the water, and one of their recommendations, number 62, is asking for Health Canada to do more research on the effects of electromagnetic radiation from wireless devices. With regard to this particular point, I know that the intent was good, and I applaud it, but the fact of the matter is, Health Canada doesn't really do any research, and there are thousands of studies out there that Health Canada has been ignoring for years. I wish the recommendation instead would say that Health Canada must immediately look at the current studies and take action. We, those of us in the Coalition and in many other groups in Canada, have been pushing for Health Canada to assign unbiased people to review the reports, to review the current studies that are there. And ever since 1998, all Health Canada does is when it reviews Safety Code 6, which is the guideline pertaining to wireless devices like cell phones, cell towers, Wi-Fi, etc., they assign people who have biases, who have worked for the industry, or people who don't know anything about it versus people who are expert in head traumas. And the results inevitably have been that the current Safety Code 6 is fine. This is not acceptable, not in this day and age. The studies are clear. The studies are numerous. There is a health effect. Our DNA is being threatened. Neurological problems are occurring. Children are being put at risk, and Health Canada is allowing it. But out of these recommendations, it's clear that the intent is that the precautionary principle should be applied. In 1998, the Environmental Protection Agency, on behalf of Canada, was one of the first signatories to the precautionary principle as agreed upon by an international group of people at a conference called the Wingspread Conference. And the definition of the precautionary principle that was agreed upon, in essence, said that the people responsible for devices, for products, need to be held responsible to ensure that they're safe. That if there is even a hint that there could be danger, that there is a risk, that the precautionary principle should be applied. People should not have to prove it's dangerous. The products should be shown to be safe before they're allowed to be put on the market. And what Health Canada has been doing, along with Environment Canada, remember, Health Canada agreed, Environment Canada agreed to allow this precautionary principle to be put in place. but it didn't happen. A year later, a new precautionary principle came in that basically said that precautionary principles would be taken in consideration of economic risk. What economic risk? Are they saying that if there's a health risk that will be very, very expensive, that maybe they'll take action? Or they're saying that if they take precautionary risk that affects economic income of our corporations, that they won't take it? They assigned risk management, risk assessment to the precautionary principle. And Health Canada's definition of risk assessment is you do a study and find out whether the costs of the health risk justify the costs that are going to be made by corporations as a result. This is not acceptable.
Money over people.
Money over people. Yep. Let's take precautionary principle so long as it doesn't interfere with the corporations and the best interests of the corporations. So what we need to say to these people who wrote all of these recommendations that are demanding a review of the Environmental Protection Act is that the true precautionary principle be employed. That economic reasons or economic justifications shouldn't enter. The fact of the matter is our health is more important than the greed of the corporations. And we really need to be going to our politicians. We need to be going to the people who are submitting this to Parliament. And I hope the people will take a look on our website and look for the precautionary principle and the information that's there and write to their MPs about it. Because it's only if we pressure them will they ever do anything.
What's that website?
www.stopsmartmetersbc.com. And in the search engine, if they put in precautionary principle, it will come to the information that I have put out there in one of my updates.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after the break.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. A work program is planned for our Finland property that contains diamond-bearing kimberlite. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ADD, and the Frankfurt Exchange, symbol 82A1. Please visit our website at arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
I'm Bill McWilliam, President of Cascadero Copper, CCD on the TSX Venture Exchange. Cesium is one of the world's rarest metals with a growing industrial demand. Drilling is underway on our Tehran property in Argentina to prove up a cesium resource. Cascadero's patent-pending leach process has the potential to make Cascadero the lowest cost supplier of cesium in the world. Visit our website, cascadero.com, or phone us at 604-924-5504.
Welcome back. We're chatting with Sharon Noble. Sharon, they're talking about how 5G is going to really open up the wireless world, make it faster, more reliable. Is 5G something we should be concerned about?
Most definitely. No scientist has had the opportunity to explore the health effects of 5G. We know, now 5G is just a generation. It covers the scope of very, very short milliwaves. These are frequencies that are entirely man-made, that have never been studied before. The only places that they've been used are in the military and in airport scanners. The military uses them for crowd control and for weaponry. They can burn the skin. They can give the sensation that your skin is burning. And the milliwaves used in those body scanners at the airport have resulted in people who are using those machines to have a very high risk of cancer. This is the only evidence that anybody has so far that there are health effects. The industry is moving forward very, very quickly because they want to be able to offer faster internet to more people. And to do this, they are putting in microcells. I've spoken about microcells before. We've discussed this. It's happening in BC. TELUS is putting them up on poles outside homes. these short waves, these milliwaves, these 5G signals are very short, so they don't travel very far, and they don't penetrate as well as the longer waves that are with cell phones and cell towers. The longer waves penetrate our bodies through our buildings and are very, very dangerous. But the milliwaves will be dangerous because they're going to be put right outside our home in these microcells. TELUS and the industry are covering all of the areas in urban areas. I suspect they will eventually get out to the rural areas too. And people are not being told. These microcells are small boxes that are being put up on hydro poles. And these hydro poles are on public property. Industry Canada allows, under its policy, its current policy that has a loophole that says there's no notification required, no consultation with the public or the people who live around these things, if the transmitters are put on existing infrastructure. They started this policy years ago because they were trying to justify they were trying to tell people that they were being proactive, that people are fighting the cell towers for aesthetic reasons, not for the transmitters, not for health reasons, which was totally untrue. But they said that they were respecting people's concerns for the aesthetics by allowing transmitters to co-locate, to be put on existing infrastructure, telecommunication infrastructure, which meant more transmitters on the existing towers. But this kind of got morphed into allowing the telecommunication industry to put it on places like apartment buildings and church steeples and other poles. The only criteria that allowed us to get any sort of say was the fact that the owners of these properties had to agree. And once the public found out about the planning, they could go to the owners, try to persuade them not to irradiate their neighbors, go to the churches, warn them that their insurance policies would not protect them when people sue them for the health effects. And in this regard, using this method of persuasion and education, many cell towers were stopped. Once the individuals found out there were dangers and potential costs to them, they withdrew their approval. But right now, TELUS and other telecommunications industries that are putting up these microcells are not approaching the city and asking for approval. They're basically going and saying, we have a right to put this on an existing structure. The fact of the matter is, this is being put on public property, outside our homes. And we have a right to say no. We don't want these things here. Now, these right now have multiple transmitters in them, or have the capacity to have multiple transmitters that are using 3 and 4G technology. And this is bad. These are very, very dangerous devices. But they also want to soon put in 5G. This will just add to the level of RF, electromagnetic radiation, that's in our environment, and this will be permeating every single solitary home in the city. We need to employ the precautionary principle. These things have been known to be dangerous, or else the military wouldn't be using them. They have been shown to cause problems with airport scanners, people using them. We should not have these outside our homes. And the industry is going holus bolus. People are not being told. Right now, what we're trying to do is to alert the city councillors and mayors before they go to the Union of BC Municipality Conference at the end of September. Some councillors already are fighting to allow the cities and the towns to have a voice in this. And I'm hoping that everyone who hears this will go on our website and learn some more information about 5G technology and send it to your councillors. Find out about microcells. And there are pictures galore. We've got all sorts of information. Go on our site, find out, and send this information to your councillors and to your mayors and ask them to support the resolution that's going to be put forward, asking that the cities stand up for the people, that say that these microcells cannot be put within 100 meters of homes. We need this protection right now. And the Union of BC Municipalities is a very strong body that can come out and demand change. Also, the Union of BC Municipalities has representatives on the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and could very well work with this group to stop it nationally. BC is not the only place where this is happening. We seem to be the most proactive group right now, as we have been with the smart meters. We need to spread this word across the country and stop this from happening. This fiber optic cable system scam that is being put up, wherever the fiber optic cables are being put in, this is where the microcells are going, and this is happening across the province, Jim.
So they're not making a fiber optic connection to your home. They're just going to the cell tower.
That's right. They're telling you that they're bringing the fiber optic to your home, and they're putting black boxes on the outside, but that's to support the Wi-Fi. Right now, I've had so many people, I have quite a few people who have agreed to allow TELUS to put the black box on their home in the belief that they were going to be connecting the fiber optic cable to their in-house cables, and that's not happening. The fiber optic, these black boxes are being put on the outside of the homes, and I'm not sure why. I erroneously allowed one to be put on my home after asking all the right questions, researching with TELUS as much as I possibly could, and I ended up with a black box on the outside of my home and Wi-Fi connections inside my home against my wishes, and I've had TELUS remove them. And I believe this is happening to others out there. If you don't have an RF meter, and TELUS has said that they have hooked you up inside your home, I suggest you find an RF meter from a friend or buy an inexpensive one, because I suspect that you are being exposed to Wi-Fi against your will and against your wishes. The fiber optic cable is coming to support the microcell technology that's being put on the outside, on the poles outside your home. This is the main reason.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after this.
Glance Technologies owns and operates Glance Pay, a disruptive mobile payment technology now live in 16 cities in Canada and about to launch in the U.S. With revenues up 664% in the last quarter, Glance Technologies has the potential to be a worldwide leader in an industry projected to grow to $1.3 trillion in 3 years. Glance Technologies stock symbols are GLNFF in the U.S. and GET in Canada. Find out more at glancepay.com.
In Goddard we trust.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, a lot of people are buying these things online that they think they can attach to their cell phone to protect them from any radiation going to or from the phone. Do these little gadgets work?
No, they don't. None of the magic gadgets, not the ones that supposedly go onto your cell phone, not the pendants that you wear around your neck. It's really very sad. Many people now are becoming aware of the dangers of radiation, and in response, gadgets are being sold as a scam. Louis Slesson of Microwave News tests everything, and I have asked him if there's anything that can protect anyone, anything that you can wear, anything you can put on your Wi-Fi, anything you can put on your computer, anything you can put on your cell phone that protects you from the radiation. And he says absolutely not. None of them provide any protection. And when you think about it, the whole idea is screwy. If you've got something that's being put on your cell phone that's going to cut down the radiation, then you're not going to get a signal. It makes no sense. And many of these things are extremely expensive. Not only are people losing their money, but more importantly, they're being misled into thinking that by wearing these pendants or putting this gadget on their cell phone, that they are reducing the radiation and that they don't have to take precautions. The only safe thing to do is to keep these things away from your body, not to use them. If you must use a cell phone, keep it turned off and let it gather your messages. Turn your cell phone on, keep it at a distance, use a headphone, use a loudspeaker, take your messages, and then return the calls using a landline, a hardwired landline that doesn't irradiate. I realize lots of people have to use cell phones for work, and they want to have them for security when they're traveling. But keep them off as much as you can, and when they're on, keep them away from your body. All manuals, whether it's a smartphone, whether it's an iPhone, whether it's an old-fashioned cell phone, say that these phones should not be anywhere near your body. And it's in your manual. It'll be hard to find. It will be in small print or perhaps online. But this is a way where the cell companies think that they are protecting themselves. It's worded so that it seems that if you don't keep it away from your body, and remember, your hand is part of your body. If you don't keep it away from your body and something happens, they'll say, well, see, we told you so. It doesn't really alleviate them from libel suits, from liability, responsibility. But it's a warning. And this applies to Wi-Fi. It applies to Wi-Fi modems. It applies to your computer when it's on Wi-Fi mode. It applies to all of the wireless devices, including smart meters. There is no way that we can protect ourselves from microwave radiation except to turn it off and to keep as far away from it as we possibly can. So I'm hoping your readers will realize there are no magic bullets. Just as there are no magic bullets for stopping the smart meters that are being put on our home, we just have to fight, we have to become educated, and we just have to know that the corporations are out there trying to make money, through their greed, and if some of these corporations are selling gadgets, don't get near them.
I understand with the Zigbee chip, they can gather all kinds of personal information about the customers who use hydro with the smart meter as well and the smart appliances. Why would they want to collect your personal data?
Money. It always comes down to money. There was a recent article that said that the telecom industry and gathering of data has now surpassed the oil industry as being the most profitable in the world. Our data is amazingly valuable and is used by all sorts of corporations, whether for marketing, insurance, whatever, and there are more and more ways it's being used. And there are more and more ways it's being gathered. As we've discussed before, Jim, companies like Onzo are selling software to smart meter companies, to utility companies, and the only service that this software provides is gathering your data and transmitting it to whomever. For some reason, our data is considered free and open. If we want to use a certain product, part of the things that we have to agree to do is to allow them to have our data. This isn't right. We aren't being told that our data is being used and sold. This Zigbee chip that's in the smart meter is going to be in is in every smart appliance. And this will include everything from your hair dryer to your washing machine, from your hand beater that you use in the kitchen to electric scissors. Everything is going to have a Zigbee chip in it. And the smart meter has a Zigbee chip that will be communicating with every single one of these internal smart devices. And not only will it be gathering data, it will be doing it by emitting signals, strong electromagnetic signals through your home. And once it gets this data, it's out there. It will go through the ether, go wherever the utility has decided it's going to go, and we will have no say about it. Yeah, it's big money, Jim. And major buildings, I mean, there are data centers that are being built in places. I think there's a huge one near Kelowna that has been built. Gigantic places just for the purposes of keeping our data. I think it's quite amazing and quite scary. I don't understand why they need so much data, why they need to know what we're doing all day, every day. I hate to think of conspiracy theories, but a lot of them come to mind. I'm sure you can think of a few yourself.
They made fun of Kellyanne Conway for saying your microwave is spying on you. Is it?
Not yet, but it could soon. You know, as soon as it gets a Zigbee chip, I haven't seen any smart microwaves, but yeah, and as could your smart TV. You know that I think it's Samsung TV, smart TV, and I think the rest of them that are coming out have microphones because you can voice activate it. If you can voice activate a device, you know it's listening to you. If you can wave your hand and have it change channels, you know it's watching you. So it's no secret. These smart things are right out in the open. Yep, they're watching you and they're listening to you. And you can't deactivate it. It's built into the device, whether it's a television or whether it's your refrigerator. The Zigbee chip is part and parcel of the device, and it's, in most cases, I've been told it's virtually impossible to deactivate it. And in some manuals, it says if the Zigbee chip has been altered in any way, the warranty is null and void. They want your data.
Now, new cars all have radar sets that help them avoid collisions. My wife has noticed when they drive by and she's talking on her cell phone stops working.
Really?
Yes.
I had not heard that before.
Yeah.
The new cars are very highly computerized. We all know that. So that it can park for you. It's got the Bluetooth capability. It's got all these various computers, radar, as you say. These cars are loaded, and it's becoming even worse. People who are the least bit sensitive can't get in these cars. People who are sensitive to microwave radiation suffer severely from these cars. And I don't predict, experts predict, scientists predict that as more people are becoming exposed to this high level of radiation, more and more people are becoming electrosensitive. And this is a horrible situation. It's not fun to be electrosensitive. People get headaches, they get dizziness, they suffer nausea, various body pains. It's a horrible situation. And it can only be avoided by avoiding electromagnetic radiation, which is everywhere now. People who are concerned about this are now having to look for older cars because most of the new cars are just loaded with it. But it's interesting to hear that your wife's cell phone goes dead. I'd like to have more information about that.
Well, yeah, she noticed years ago with the old microwave, when the microwave oven was on, her cell phone wouldn't work. And now getting the same effect on the telephone. For sure, the car industry isn't going to tell you that what they're doing is you're actually driving around with a microwave oven with the door open.
Well, and it's worse because the radiation inside your car, you have made yourself a Faraday cage just like a microwave oven, and it's bouncing around in there. All of the waves, that's how microwave ovens work. The signals, the waves, the electronic waves, bounce off the metal walls. That's what happens in a car. The microwaves bounce off all the hard surfaces, the glass and the metal, and you're just being fried in that car. That's why most scientists will say if you have to use a cell phone, don't use it in your car. Keep it off. If you have to use your cell phone, stop your car and get out and use your cell phone. That's the only safe way of using it. Well, it's not safe. It's a safer way of using it. But all of these electronic devices in the car, people are going to really suffer. And one of the scary things is that one of the effects of being exposed to these high levels of RF are slower responses and cognitive problems. So people are driving cars and their responses are slow and their awareness has been decreased. You really want people who are being zapped like that, driving cars going 100 kilometers an hour aiming at you? I don't.
Sharon, anything else you wanted to tell us today?
No, not that I can think of. All that I would like to do is to encourage people to please get involved in some of these major issues. You know, we're trying to alert our new energy minister, Michelle Mungle, about the problems with RF technology and with smart meters. We need to help educate our new politicians. The Liberals allowed so much to happen, and the NDP have promised to look at what's happening with an open eye. And right now, all we're getting are the same old form letters from our new energy minister. I hope that people will write her, write our new premier. Let these people know what is the truth. Encourage them to read the science, the reports that have been sent to them. Encourage them to refuse to take the information the Liberal government and the bureaucrats like Dr. Perry Kendall are giving them, because much of it is not true. Much of it is outdated, and much of it is just not accurate. We deserve to have politicians that are willing to look at new approaches, not only for Site C, but also for the smart meter program and for the microcells that are being installed. So I would ask them, please, go to our website, look at the material that is there, join with us, look at the updates, and become informed about what's going on out there.
Sharon, remind people again what your website is.
It is www.stopsmartmetersbc.com.
Sharon, thank you so much for chatting with us.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you, Jim.
My guest has been Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. You're listening to the Goddard Report on TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Find us on Twitter at TalkDigitalNet. Our popular YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Questions for the show or our guests can be emailed to info@howstreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.